It is time for the bubbliest podcast of the world. It's Beer Bubbles! Hi everyone and welcome to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world. On the 23rd of March, Beer Circus, a new touring beer festival, visited Debaser in Stockholm. Beer Bubbles was of course there and actually spoke to all the exhibitors. We've divided this podcast into two parts, and first up in the first episode is Jonas Kalnefelt from Nyköping Brewing. Enjoy! Jonas! Welcome to Beer Bubbles.
Oh, thank you.
We're at the Beer Circus in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Small new festival thingy. It's tiny.
It's tiny, but I think it's really cool, actually. 10 breweries, a lot of focus on each brewery, so it's good. Second time we were on the premiere last year as well. Yeah.
Okay. So you are amongst 9 other brewers that are here.
Yeah, and actually from around Sweden, so it's not particular from Stockholm or an area, so it's quite nice actually.
What do you think of these new, because I think it's a fun idea, but there's these tiny pop-up festivals. What do you think of those?
I mean, I think it's good because it's we are working on the craft beer scene, but still. There is a lot of festivals also, so they have to do a good work, a good job, and I think the guys behind this are doing a good work. So it's hopefully this will be coming back, and I know there is plans for a new festival from Beer Circus in the future, now in the spring and the summer. So it's hopefully, yeah, it's good.
And you've been in the Beer Bubbles podcast before, but that was. What is it, 2.5 years ago?
That's 2.5 years ago, and we were talking about the brewery, yeah.
So how have you progressed so far since then?
Good, I think. We are still growing, both as company and as brewery in volume, so 20-30% each year, so it's good. Our brew pub is also increasing, and it's good. But still, it's a tough situation for the breweries as well, with the economic situation and everything. So, but still, quite good. Yeah.
Because there's actually quite a few breweries that have gone belly up the last 6 months, the last year.
Yeah. That's true.
But you're still going strong.
We're still going strong. So we are working hard. We're still open 4 days a week on the brew pub, but still, we hopefully we will increase the volume this year as well. So yeah.
And you gave me a beer.
Yeah.
What is this?
You got the Mind the Gap. It's a best bidder. We're launching it on Systembolaget in May. We have it on draft as well, and we also have it a cask, an accurate. And we I think it's a nice beer. Easy drinking, 5%, good for compared to food and. So it's a good beer.
Thank you, Jonas. Jonas from Nyköping. Have a great day here at the festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you later on. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
As you could hear, it was a proper beer party. Next up, Peter Pikulik from PKLK. Well, I'm standing here at Beer Circus in Stockholm with Peter Pikulik from PKLK Brewery, a small brewery in the south part of Stockholm. What do you think of this little pop-up festival?
It's a great festival. I think it's a great venue. It's a smaller place, and we get to chit-chat between ourselves, and we get to talk to the consumers directly, which is a great thing.
So could this be the future for beer festivals in Sweden?
Yeah, I really hope so. As I said, it's more intimate. We get to connect with the consumer in a better way. and we get to have a setting around our own brands that are more representative than a big fair.
Because this is more of a party.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a circus.
It's a circus party with 10 brewers standing here with their beers.
Exactly. Yeah. And we got some other things happening around just not the beer, it's beer pong, and we got cheese and we got chips and everything going on.
So I know you're driving today, so you're not going to drink anything. Is there anything that you really would like to try out of these beers that are here?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of interesting ones around here. I think the truffle saison from Snausave would be very interesting.
I'll try that. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I'll try to see if they have it at the after party.
Because you've been around quite a while now, but really small and kind of growing organically since the start.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about the trip that you made with PKLK.
Yeah, so I started out in my basement at home, basically just making beer for one customer, one product for maybe 1 or 2 years, and then the kind of snowball effect was me having to decide whether to keep my old job or start the brewery. So I naturally went with the brewing because that was the fun side. And in 2015, I started a more commercial brewery, moving to a real place. And in 2019, I joined up with Universum in their place.
But now you're actually 3 breweries in one facility.
Yeah, so we moved to a new place in January, and right around that time there was a guy, Linus, who came and asked if he could join us as well. So now we're 3 breweries in Skarpnäck. It's me, PKLK, Universum, and Beer Barons.
And do you think that is the future for smaller brewers? Because it is tough times for breweries right now.
Yeah, I would say if we hadn't done this back in 2019, me and Universum wouldn't be here today. So we can share so many burdens together, not just money-wise, but we can cover for each other if we need help on a brew day or whatever. So
and you get better prices if you bigger bulk of malt and distribution and sales are.
Yeah, definitely. I think just if you want to stay small and flexible, I think you need to team up. Or the other way is to get bigger, but today that's a lot harder.
First beer I tried today was your milk stout, which was absolutely fantastic.
Excellent, thank you.
What do you think about because I've found that it's a new trend now that people tend to go for more classic beer styles more.
Yeah.
It's not just the haze craze, it's not just the sours. People are actually starting to drink Rauch beer, bitters, classic lagers. Yeah. Is that a trend that's going to keep on going, or do you think that's just a fad?
No, I think that's the way that beer drinking works, is that it goes quite in a circle. You start out with the trendy stuff, then you want to explore the more niche products, but then when you're done with that, you're going back to the traditional ones, and I think we're on that cusp right now. And who knows, maybe if the circle goes back, or if there's a new trend, maybe that will start a new circle in some way.
Well, at some point, hazy IPAs are going to be something traditional as well. So.
Yeah, true.
But I think that you probably go back to what you really, really like. When you've explored, you'll go back to the flavors that you really enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's a lot of flavors that can be learned just going in that circle, and you get to appreciate flavors that you didn't before, in a way. So I think that this circle is bound to close at some point.
Peter, I've got to ask you a question. You're going to die today. You can drink one more beer. What beer would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. It's been a long time since I had a good Pliny. Good fresh Pliny.
Okay, they're going to start up on the stage now. So Peter, I'll sell you back to your booth. Take care.
Okay.
One of the organizers behind Craft Beer Circus, besides Robert Andersson and Glenn Paulsen, was renowned comedian Johan Petersson. Of course I fucked up and called him Johan Persson, but I hope he can forgive me. This is his views on the turn-up and the vibe. Guys, welcome back to Beer Bubbles podcast, the bubbliest podcast in the world. We're at Craft Beer Circus. Johan Persson, famous comedian. What the fuck do you know about beer?
I'm a consumer.
Yes.
I know how to buy a beer. I know how to drink a beer. I know how to pay for a beer. That's my knowledge. I don't know anything else.
And you feel the beer in the morning the day after?
Yeah, because usually I'm very inspired and I like beer. But I've been to so many showings and I've met so many people that know stuff about beer, and I've listened to you and to others. I don't remember anything. It's not because I drink much. It's just, it's in there and out there. But I like beer, so if it's good, it's good.
You know, that's just what beer is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
When it becomes snobby, it's not my beer anymore.
And it's I can't remember which, if a saison, what type of flavor is it, or if you have a bitter. Of course, it's bitter, but I'm more interested in. Okay, this is the taste. What can we match it with? What kind of food do we need for it, or a cheese, or maybe even chocolate? So. My passion right now is to kind of compete with wine, because always when you go to wine tasting, and they always say that you should eat this with this wine. So let's start talking about beer in the same way. This type of beer, you should eat this, and this is a dessert for desserts, and that's what I want. So that's why we have a cheese tasting table, and also.
Oh, you got cheese, you got crisps, you got. Beer pong?
Yeah, beer pong, but with malt in it, so it's no alcohol, because that's bad in Sweden. To encourage people to drink, that's bad. No, not drinking too much.
Johan, you're one of the people behind this Craft Beer Circus. What was the thought? How did it happen?
Well, I'm kind of I'm a guest sort of, because Robert and Glenn started it. And then I have a place on Öland, a nice summer vacation island in Sweden that I do after beach, and I have some events. And Robert contacted me and asked if they could come to the place I have. And then they asked, do you want to come with us and do Craft Beer Circus and other places? So it started with, I have a place that they could go to. And now we're in Stockholm, where I live. So this is a nightclub, and I live just across the bridge. So this is like Swedish Brooklyn, and this is a nightclub. So this was my recommendation.
The bar next door is actually called Brooklyn Bar.
Yeah, yeah, very suitable. But so they really used to organizing festivals, and they know all the brewers, and I do events and stuff, but I've never done this before. So I'm learning from them.
What do you think so far?
Oh, it's great. The vibe is great. We had a long line when we started, so. Not enough people in the cashier, but the atmosphere was great. And I was out talking to them and said, sorry, but soon you'll be in and tasting beer. So everybody, it's so positive.
But this is a beer party. It is not a like a fair or.
No.
It's 10 breweries. They have like 2 beers each-ish.
Yeah. So we would like to have it like a carnival or a festival or a circus. So it's you mingle and you talk, and the stars are the brewers. So we don't have elephants. we have the brewers, no lions.
They're your dancing elephants today.
Yeah, sea lions. So you get to know them, and right now, from what I know, people don't buy that much from the shelf, the craft beer. So if we could invite some of the people with restaurants. That because people in Sweden go to restaurants, still go. Doesn't matter what how the economy is. So maybe we can help brewers to meet restaurant people that will buy their beer to serve in restaurants.
But it's also a way for them to really showcase their stuff to the common man as well. So
yeah.
So if you get a good introduction into what craft beer is.
Yeah.
I really like this. I love the vibe. I love everything you've done here. It's absolutely fantastic.
Nice to hear. Nice to hear from you, Cici. It's really nice.
Johan, I know that you've got to be like everywhere at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful for you taking your time to
Thank you.
be on Beer Bubbles with us. And
thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Let's have a great night.
Yeah, I'm start drinking in a few hours,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Thank you very much. I'll just get one question for you.
Yep.
This is the hardest question in the world.
Okay.
You're going to die today. You can have one more beer. What beer would it be?
I really love a Keller beer. So Vaxholm has a really nice Keller beer. They're not here today to defend themselves.
No, but Jessica and Jessica is a great brewer. We normally call her a queen of clean in the business.
Really? Yeah, it tastes clean.
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful beer.
Yeah, so that's my last beer in life. Right now.
Thank you, Johan.
Thank
Take
you.
care of yourself and have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Cheers. That was a great chat with Johan. Now over to some true pioneers on the beer scene in Sweden. Nynäshamns Ångbryggeri and Marcus Värme. Welcome back to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world. I think you'll have to move a little bit closer to me to be in the picture. Marcus Värme from Nynäshamns Ångbryggeri.
Yes.
You can tell from the beautiful shirt he's got. This is not a new shirt. It's been around
This
for a while.
is the oldest shirt there is. But it's from a brand that has long-lasting clothes.
Well, long-lasting clothes. It's a long-lasting brewery. It's the oldest one in here today.
Yes, we're turned
What is it?
27 this year, I think.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so we started in 1997.
I've been a
And-
fan of your beer since day one. I
You're
remember
too kind.
when Thomas came in to Beefeater in with a bottle of Landsort Lager and a beer bit, and I said, you can't drink Swedish beer.
Yeah.
And I tried the beer, and then I ordered some.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. Get customers that will last.
What do you think of this little pop-up festival?
It's nice. I thought the day pass will be less people, but I think it's pretty full right now. And they're trying to squeeze in almost the double in the afternoon. So I don't know how that will work.
But the atmosphere is fantastic.
Yeah. A lot thanks to the conference year here. Johan, yeah.
He's a true professional.
He's doing a great job.
So, for those people who don't know Nynäshamns Ångbryggeri, what are you?
Well, pretty traditional brewery. We brew Trudy style lagers to porters and everything in between. It's more easy to say what we don't do. We don't do sours and we don't do hazy IPAs.
This little festival, you think this might be the future for beer festivals in Sweden?
Yeah,
Those
well,
little pop-up things?
This is definitely the future. Yeah, because this allows us to come here, meet the end consumer without having to empty our pockets. So it's definitely it's not the future. It's been the way to do festivals for a couple of years already, I think.
And this is more of a party.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even call this a
should
festival.
Be.
It's
it
a
should
beer
be a party.
party.
Yeah.
And they got some cheese, they got beer pong. It's like things are going on.
Yeah, so definitely the future, I think.
I know I've asked you this question before, but I'm going to ask you the toughest question in the world when it comes to beer, and especially for someone who works in beer.
Again?
The hardest question in the world when it comes to a person who works with beer.
Yeah.
You are going to die today.
Yeah, I know.
You can
I know
have
the
one
question.
more beer. What beer would it be?
Since it is the hardest question, but I would go for Pickla Pils.
Pickla Pils, your Pilsner.
From our brewery.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, dry, crispy Pilsner.
It never goes wrong.
No. And you would probably have it gravity poured, yeah?
Yeah, sure, of course. 10 liters at a time.
Yeah, of course you do. Marcus, thank you very much. You're alone today, so I'm going to let you get back to your booth.
I'm all alone, so...
Well, I'll come by and have a Roxanne from you, the red... the Imperial Red Ale, also
India Red Ale, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic beer there as well. It's on Systembolaget now, I think.
Yeah, it's been for, I think, 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
Thank you, Marcus. Get back to work.
I will.
Nynäshamns Bitter was my first love when it comes to Swedish beers. Next up is a true legend and also faithful guest in Beer Bubbles. Fromager, beer judge, tour guide, and altogether great guy, Joel Hedman. Welcome back to Beer Bubbles. I found a true legend here at the Craft Beer Circus, Joel Hedman.
Hello.
Beer judge, fromager, beer knower, blogger, but whatever. You do beer.
Yeah, beer. Beer is what I do, and I like it a lot. Or beer does me, I guess.
I just wanted to know what you think about this festival.
It is fantastic. It's a smaller venue. By this time, feels like I know most people here. That makes it even friendlier for me.
It feels like a party.
Yeah, and it's all of it is. It's all good beer. It's all fantastic quality. So you can't go wrong here, I feel.
So out of these beers that you tried here today, what's the best so far?
Oh, that's a tough one. I know some that I really like that I haven't tried yet, so I kind of feel like I would be unfair. The one I'm aiming to try, because I've cheated and tried it at Systembolaget, and I want to mention it, even though I haven't tried it yet, so I'm kind of cheating. But the Schwarzbier from Snausarve, it's the best Schwarzbier I've ever had in my life, in my opinion. But as I said, that's a cheat because I haven't had it yet. So I guess, I don't know if that's a legitimate answer or not.
It is a legitimate answer. Just one more question before I let you go back to try the Schwarzbier.
Oh.
Is this the future for beer festivals in Sweden?
You mean this type of more
Pop-up, small venues?
Kind of feels like it. I also like the fact that you have a little bit more. You've got cheese guy in the corner. You've got some crisps or chips or whatever you want to call them there too.
Beer pong.
Yeah. A bit more of a merge of stuff and just general goodness and relaxed vibe. Might be, and I would be happy for that.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to try some beers. You guys, I'll see you later on. Cheers.
Cheers.
Next up is Max Westman from Stockholm Brewing, a brewery that got new owners about 6 months ago. Hear what he has to say about it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the Craft Beer Circus here in Stockholm with Beer Bubbles. Stockholm Brewing, tell me who you are and what you do at Stockholm Brewing.
Yes, my name is Max. I work as the lead brewer, so kind of like the sous chef in the brewery. We have Michel, he's the head brewer and the brewmaster. And so I lead the brew team, as you say. Make sure we brew the beer, package the beer. Yeah.
And Stockholm Brewing has been through kind of a journey the last year.
Yes, very much. We went upside down last year. And in April, since April last year, we have a new owner. So, yeah. But the production team is still the same, but yeah, the ownership is another company.
You stopped doing the fodder fermented stuff, but you are now more concentrating on
clean beers.
On the clean beers.
Yeah. We stopped doing the cellar beers, the fooders, and the barrel-aged sours. And now we only focus on clean beers. We're doing lagers and IPAs, and yeah.
So what do you think of this little festival?
It's very cozy, and a lot of people, even though it's the first session of
the early shift.
Yeah, exactly. So it feels good and cozy, and everybody looks like they're having a good time.
Great atmosphere. I've said in the former interviews, it feels like a party.
Yeah.
Someone has booked a place and it's your party.
Yeah, exactly. We have the beer pong and some kind of motorcycles here and cheese and crackers and yeah.
And you got a conferencier speaking to everyone, telling everyone about everything. And one of Sweden's foremost comedians.
Yeah. I grew up with him. Bröderna Fluff and
Kaffebash.
Yeah. Dr. Mugg.
So is this the future for beer festivals in Sweden, or is this just a complement to the bigger ones?
I don't know yet. This is a fun concept. I like when there's a little bit smaller festivals, so you can actually have time to speak to the customers, and it doesn't feel like it's so many tickers here that just you want to taste everything. So maybe, I don't know. It's also fun to go to the really big ones and.
I'm not going to keep you away from your beers too long, but I've got one question for you that's going to be probably the toughest question you'll get today. You're going to die today.
Yeah.
You can have one more beer, any beer in the world, in production, not in production. What beer would that beer be?
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy?
Yeah, Orval.
Orval.
Always.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Max. Get back to your beers.
I will.
I'll come and try some more stuff of you later on.
Yep.
And have a great festival, guys.
Yeah, you too.
Last in this first part of the podcast is a brewery from my home island, Gotland. Here is Kalle Andersson from the amazing brewery of Snausarve. So guys, we're back at Craft Beer Circus. I'm standing here with one of my absolute heroes when it comes to beer. You
Thank
make
you.
some of the absolute beers in Sweden, in my opinion.
Thank you very much.
Kalle from Snausarve on Gotland, my
That's
home
correct.
islands.
That's correct.
What are you? And
We are like a small brew pub, small brewery. I started out as a home brewer 30 years ago, something like that. And 2017 we started a brewery at Gotland. We bought a farm. So to brew farm-style beer, Belgian-style beer, and also try to mimic the lambic style of beer. And I think we are pretty successful in that.
you actually made a beer with a puree that I sent to you a year and a half ago.
Yeah, with
Krikon,
Krikon, exactly. It's like a plum.
an ancient kind of
Asian-
plum.
Yeah, and really yellow, and really nice with the sour beer we made. So one of the best sour beer we have made so far, I think.
Well, I actually agree, but I'm kind of biased there. So.
So am I.
What do you think of this little festival?
I think it's amazing. I mean, it's fun that we are being presented, and so it's just not just sitting around and serving beer to people. It's also integrating with people and stuff. So really fun.
Yeah, we have a really nice conference here. You want from who's one of Sweden's most famous comedian, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
He's also part of the project here, so it's a. I've told everyone else it feels like almost like you rented a place and it's a bigger home party.
Yeah, that's my feeling too.
I know you're not allowed to drink here while you're working. Is there anything that you're really dying to try?
I'm not sure yet because I haven't gone around and see what's on tap yet. But otherwise, I will drink my own beer, of course. We have like the Söderli Drank with us.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of our lambic style beers with Drank. That is like the leftovers from one of the distillers on island. They make raspberry liquor. So we use the rest and put it on the beer.
And then you have two other Belgian style beers and this one, which I found was absolutely amazing. The Schwarzbier.
Yeah, the Schwarzbier. Yeah, we used to have it as our Easter beer, but this year we decided to put it on Systembolaget for see how it goes. So we really love Schwarzbier. Me myself is more like a Belgian style, and Nina, my wife, that also runs the brewery, she likes drinkability. So a lot of lagers and stuff. So yeah, so we made it for that.
Is this kind of festival the future for beer festivals in Sweden, or is it just a compliment?
No, I think these kind of festivals is actually what's going to survive, I think, because the small festival that is just for special breweries, not as, I think it's big like Stockholm.Beer and Whiskey Festival. It's bigger, commercial, and I think they will have a harder time. And also on these kind of small festivals, as a brewer, we earn a lot of money at it, so that's good.
And you actually get to meet the end consumer and speak to them properly.
Yeah, we have time for that as well. So, yeah, I think this is the future for the festivals in Sweden. Maybe a little bigger than this, but special just beers, I think.
Kalle, I'm going to let you get back to the beers in a minute, but I've got to ask you the toughest question in the world first.
And that is?
You're going to die today. You can have one more beer, any beer in the world, in production or not production. What beer would you have as your final last hurrah?
That is a really easy question, I think.
It is?
Yeah, it is. I would have the Dry Fontaine Eau de Gueuse from 2017. That's one of the best beer I had, I think.
Well, you can nip by Accurate later on tonight and have one then.
Good. I will.
Guys, thank you very much. We'll be back, and Kalle,
I'll go back.
go work some.
I will. Thank you for this.
Cheers, man.
Bye.
Well, guys, that's it for this time. Tune in next Friday for the rest of the interviews we made at Craft Beer Circus. Until then, drink better beer. It is time for the bubbliest podcast of the world. It's Beer Bubbles!